All right, on to the other big story we are tracking here on 5 Live. Artificial intelligence meant to help us to solve problems, but what if it becomes a threat? That's where X's Grok comes in. Elon Musk's AI platform is making headlines and not for the right reasons. Grok is unfiltered, uncensored, and dangerously so. A new trend is spreading on the platform where fake profiles post images of women, then they tag Grok, and what are the prompts? Show her in a bikini, or worse, remove her clothes. Imagine an AI being told to undress women and it actually obeys and posts it online with a massive presence. No consent, no dignity, no checks, no censor, just clicks and images. Musk has no filters, and clearly neither does Grok now. The trend is going viral, and open Twitter today, you will see all of those. The first post could be just like the one flashing on your screen right now. People who realize how wrong this is at so many levels are fuming. I'm livid. Shiv Sena's UBT MP, then Priyanka Chaturvedi, has now also taken up this matter, has written to the IT minister, Ashwini Vaishnaw, demanding action against this blatant misuse. She joins us live now for more, on this story. Priyanka Chaturvedi, welcome. Thank you so much for taking up this matter on behalf of every woman on the planet, if I can say it that. But this is taking, AI to another level. I don't even know how to describe the story. It could be your or my picture tomorrow.
Absolutely. And it is extremely scary that we are living in times where we, as a woman, even if we want to share some part of our lives, we cannot because we live in the constant danger of our photographs being misused. And earlier we used to have something like a Photoshop. Now we have Grok doing that work. So the prompts that lead you to do things like this should be disabled. This is what I have asked, that we should have some guardrails that as soon as someone asks something problematic, the Grok does not respond to that. They're doing that even with pictures of minor children. I've seen 10-year-old girls also being, pervert men asking that those kids' photographs also to be shown in a bikini, etc., which Grok is responding to. So that is extremely problematic, and it can lead to consequences, which could be unfortunate and on a bigger scale. So that is why I felt, as someone who's in the standing committee, IT and communications, I should bring this to the attention of the ministry and also tell them that they should, reach out to X and tell them that their AI, while Grok is doing a lot more other good work, but it cannot respond to such prompts that are coming from perverts, from men who think it is absolutely okay. They don't know about women's dignity, privacy, even are seeking authorization.
But
So it's problematic at many levels.
It is. On social media, on any other platform, I can think of YouTube, I can think of the meta ecosystem of Instagram, Facebook, etc. The norms there are very clear. On nudity, there are very clear guidelines that is followed. We constantly, even if, by chance there is a slight too severe moment or blood, etc., you see strikes being, taken by these platforms. I think what's really shocking about this is that X has not taken any action. Elon Musk has not taken any action on this front.
Most of the time, these big techs run away from responsibility or accountability. Under the garb of creativity, innovation, they allow such things to thrive on social media platforms until and unless it's not called out. I think perhaps we'd be the first country, and I would say that I would be perhaps one of the first, who has alerted the IT ministry and said that they should hold X accountable for this. And not just X, even Meta ads that you see, lots of photos that are being used for AI purposes and to feed AI data sets are used from women who don't even know that their photographs are being used. So this can only lead to more serious outcomes and serious circumstances and serious criminality that probably these people who are just putting a prompt out there do not realize. This is a criminal act and they're bound to face the law. But if something like this happening at a massive scale needs to be addressed by those platforms which are allowing AI to respond to prompts such as these. So it can be very well managed. It needs to be taken up seriously. And I'm sure if the IT ministry intervenes, it can be done and would be responded to immediately.
Right. But Priyanka, this is Grok doing it right now. Any other app, I can think of at least 5 in my head right now, I'm not going to name them, which can do exactly this. So this is a larger issue that we've got to tackle. It's not just X.
Yes, exactly. That's why I gave the example of Grok, and I said there are other big tech firms also
Yeah.
which work on these generative, prompts that come and respond to the questions that come. So that also needs to be taken up with big tech. Now we must understand that most of these AI platforms are being driven by big tech. So whether it's Microsoft, whether it's Google, whether it's other platforms like even Facebook, Meta, they need to be called in, spoken to, and told that this is something which will not be tolerated, can lead to criminal consequences, and they are equally accountable for ensuring for not ensuring that there are enough guardrails, enough spaces, safe spaces for women to be able to do what they want to do on those platforms. So that is unfortunate. I've also been getting a lot of feedback saying that even some people, even women, are misusing it, etc. But if you look at the volume of misuse, it's coming from a lot of men who think that
And
they can
fake
get away with this
accounts
behavior.
who are hiding behind anonymity. I think, so this is a systemic change. It's not a gender issue at all. But Priyanka, you spoke
Absolutely.
about calling them in and having a chat with them, going by past experiences of how government, in India at least, has tackled or dealt with big tech. Do you think the government of the day actually has enough say or sway in this matter to actually get some action done?
I think India needs to understand the leverage it enjoys in terms of big tech companies working in India, the kind of profit margins that they look at, the kind of volume of business that they get, the kind of people who are on these platforms. I think once India understands that leverage with a population of 1.4 billion and more people getting onto social media platforms and getting on in the internet, would only increase their market base. So till we don't step in as the market leaders where a lot of data is being consumed and is being utilized, till then I think the big tech will continue to get away with their responsibility. That is where I think we need to put a foot in, but also at the same time being aware that we are not extending it to a point where we start interfering in private spaces.
Got it. Priyanka, there are also some, messages I'm seeing as a response to this entire trend of talking about a complete ban on X, on how it's become like this one of those spaces which is just being abused largely or being misused in other manners. I want to understand what's your take on that.
No, absolutely not. I'm not in favor of banning anything or putting down anything at all. We can find solutions by holding them responsible and by sharing that responsibility. Even from our end, the need for education is so important right now in terms of how you behave in digital societies. We must
Yep.
understand from civil societies that we engage with has now moved largely to digital platforms. So how do you engage? How do you ensure that you do not get into any criminal act? Is something that needs to be made aware of. So it is a joint program in motion which we need to work on. But most of the time, the big techs get a run away from taking that responsibility by saying that
Yep.
either they take the safe harbor route or they say we are just a medium of communication, so they can't be held responsible. So responsibility would need to be allocated and also adhered to and lived up to.
Got it. Last question, Priyanka Chaturvedi. Have you got a response from the IT minister so far?
I did see a statement from the IT minister in response. I think he was addressing some conference where he said that yes, social media platforms will need to be accountable for the kind of content that they get away with. And but must remember now, in this particular case, a prompt is being given and they are responding to those prompts. So you can very well, as a platform, you can very well control those algorithms and those prompts to
Of
not be
course.
responded to. So that is something which definitely lies, the onus of it lies on those social media platforms, and they will have to stand up to this responsibility.
All right, Priyanka Chaturvedi, we'll leave it there at the moment. Thank you so much for picking up this issue, and we really hope that the government responds to this one. We have little hope from big tech, like you said.
Thank you so much.